What's the eerie music on there for, Bert?
That's so we know they're vampires. Is that right, Bert? We're going to crack out the garlic and the official steak and hammer, I think.
I put the music on there in case somebody missed the point.
But what is the point?
That they're a menace to society.
Mr. Cole, I can see some kids hanging around on street corners.
Exactly. And if you people were doing your jobs, they wouldn't be.
Bert, it's not our job to harass people for being on the footpath.
If I had my way, all young people would be off the street by 7 o'clock.
They're just talking.
No, McKinley, they're conspiring. They're planning things.
Oh, you talk about what you did at school, what you watch on telly. You know what you're going to do on Saturday night?
Exactly. As the detective said, conspiring.
It's called meeting your friends.
McKinley, Bert, bottom line, we can't arrest people for talking to each other.
Talking should be nipped in the bud. And if you won't do it, there's others who will.
What do you intend to do about this?
Nothing. Sir, it's a Tony Timms beat-up. Bert Cole, nice man he can be, leading citizen he certainly is, but he's also a terrible wowser. He's always off on some moral crusade. What we have here is an absolutely normal set of teenagers. They're as menacing as putty tats.
I'm aware the streets of fear model's exaggerated, Sergeant. I'm not stupid. We can learn even from slightly hysterical citizens like Mr. Cole.
Sir?
When you analyse what he's asking for, it's proactive policing. In New York, a crackdown on street offences resulted in a reduction in major crime. If it worked in New York, it can work in Mount Thomas.
With all due respect, sir.
With all due respect, Sergeant, when people say with all due respect, they usually mean the direct opposite.
I was about to say that this is hardly New York.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Techniques, however, are transferable. I want those kids off the street and home watching television where they belong.
Oh, Bert's a bachelor. He lives alone. He's obviously got too much time on his hands.
I bet you old Bert's interest in camera work extends further than just pimply teenagers, if you get the point.
Oh, you bit of sick mind, Schultzy.
Talking about me behind my back again, Nick.
Hey,
What are you doing back here?
back
You get more fun at the hospital, wouldn't you? It looks like I got sick of standing at the ceiling, mate.
Constable,
for you.
fully recovered, I see.
Yeah, and looking forward to getting back to work, sir.
Good. Well, I'd better be getting on with some myself.
Hey, I'm sorry about
That other matter we were talking about. You dealt with it yet?
As I said yesterday, I'm waiting until the inquest's out of the way.
On your head.
You're sick in that hospital.
Yeah, I bet you would be too. You got that $5, you owe me?
Imagine some...
Good to see you recovered, Cooper. The rest of you, proactive policing in accordance with the inspector's new district business plan. Off you go, and wear out some shoe leather.
But, boss, with Cooper at the inquest...
We'll be short-handed, yes, I know. Tell me something I don't know. Come on, get on with it, will you?
Hey, boss, can I have a word for a sec? Look, boss, I know we didn't exactly end on the best of terms.
Cooper.
No, I just want to say that I realise I've made a lot of mistakes. But it's important for me to have your trust, and I'm going to do everything I can to gain it back.
I appreciate that, Cooper, but right now you need to concentrate your energies on the inquest.
Yeah, well, that was self-defence, open and shut. I mean, if Brad Dimmick hadn't have jumped out...
I know
and
that,
ambushed me,
but all you need to do is come up against a lawyer out to make a name for himself. Just ask PJ.
I'll handle it.
I'm sure you think you will. Don't rush it, that's all.
Look, boss, I just want to get back to work.
Excuse me, boss. Bert Cole's shop, the assistant just rang in. The place has been vandalised. Well, it's a bit hard to disagree with the sentiments expressed. Oh, as long as we don't say that too loudly ourselves.
Carl hasn't turned up yet, so his assistant's going to try and get him on the phone. So you guys should sit over to his house, so he's not there, just leave a card, tell him to call us.
Mr. Cole? We'll try in the back. Dash? I'll get an ambulance. He's dead. That's gross. You've seen a body before, haven't you? Yeah, but not in a dress like that. My mum nearly bought that dress 2 weeks ago in Pauline's salon. Your mum's not a size 22. But she's close. Is she? Portrait of a moral crusader.
Sorry to drag you out of the inquest, sir, but as you were acquainted with Mr. Cole...
I didn't know him all that well, Sergeant.
Influential citizen on the council. I mean, the way he was found is bound to create waves. I thought you should know as soon as possible.
Next to kin been informed.
Well, he doesn't have any that we know of, not in the district anyway.
Sir, I've just been on the births, deaths and marriages and they're going to run a check for us.
G'day, g'day, g'day. There is nothing here for the Gazette, Tony.
Oh, really? I just heard that Bert Cole's been found dead. In unusual circumstances.
Where did you hear that?
Well, you know, sources. And I think the term cross-dressing might have been used.
Is there a leak in this station, Sergeant?
Well, St David's crime centre out there too. Perhaps you should look a bit closer to home. There'll be a press conference in due course, Tony. Until then, no comment.
Oh, what a shame. I was hoping to get some happy snaps of the old frock.
5 minutes ago, you were prepared to help the man in his crusade to clean up Mount Thomas. Now you're prepared to humiliate him in death.
Oh, can I quote you on that, Sergeant, can I?
No, you can't.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for your cooperation as usual. Inspector?
I'll be at the inquest if you need me. Miss Timms, a word.
Yeah, if he thinks he's going to get Timsy to drop the story, he's got no hope.
Why couldn't Bert have been found in a pair of trousers with slacks even, a kilt?
Well, maybe he was killed because he was in a dress. You know, he invites the wrong bloke back, takes offence.
And he murders him.
Mate, it happens.
Time of death pronounced at 10:26 a.m.
What do you think the cause?
Well, there's some evidence that he hit his head when he fell. You can see that contusion there. And there's some blood on the fireplace, but...
What?
But I don't know, considering his age and physical condition. Could be anything, a heart attack, stroke.
Zoe, do you reckon there's a bit of kinky sex gone wrong, a bit of the old autoerotic strangulation? Something like that?
Well, it's possible, but there's no bruising to the neck, there's no rope.
Yeah, here you go, boys.
We won't know for sure till the autopsy, Pete.
Oh. Right. Thank you. Yeah, have a nice day, boys. Well, misadventure, homicide, what?
Autopsy, PJ. Wait for it.
Crime scene finished?
Oh, they've got a partial print off Jimmy Door.
Right, so this bloke, he breaks in. Bert says, shall we dance? Whacks him.
Okay, I'll leave you guys to it.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. So this bloke, he kills Bert, knocks off his VCR and his TV.
Oh, there's a TV and a video in the other room. Maybe Bert just moved them around.
Yeah, but he's got an appliance shop. He's going to have a couple of them, isn't he?
Not much to kill for.
They kill for small change. Dash. And hello. Did you see that frock he was wearing?
I wonder if they've knocked off some of his personal library. Look at that. Hey, where's his video camera?
Probably the second-hand shop with the TV and the VCR. Let's check around the house.
Here he is, Dave Craig. How are you, mate? What part of the town you digging up today?
Hey, Nick. Tom?
Dave?
I've got the road crew laying blacktop on the highway near the 7 Mile. I just wanted to make sure you got the notification.
Yes, mate, it's all fine.
Just making sure you're up to speed on it.
Good on you, mate.
Oh, I was passing Bert Cole's house.
Eh?
You people were there. There's nothing wrong, I hope.
Bert Cole's dead. We found his body this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry. Heart or what?
We don't know yet. That's why we're there.
I just thought to ask, as I know him at Rotary and, oh, you know.
Hey. Yeah, would you know of any next of kin?
Not that well, no. Anyway, just making sure you knew about the roadworks.
All right.
See ya.
What's that all about?
Well, he's just very efficient. Double check.
He's a sticky Vicky, mate.
Still haven't found a key to that locked room.
Well, I suppose he did have videos about the kids.
Yeah, but the streets of fear stuff. It's teenagers, not children.
I found the keys. He was a child molester.
Looks like we've just struck the mother lode.
These look like 22s. Yeah, these are 10s. Bert Cole couldn't squeeze into a size 10 on a good day. This looks like a rack of 14s.
And well, Bert's been the same size as long as I've known him.
They're not very old either. These are 18s. Do you know, one of my aunties, who also had a little bit of a weight problem, she used to get dresses that are a couple of sizes smaller as a dieting incentive. And there's a bit of a difference between that and that. So you think there's other people?
All right, you experts check the makeup. And if you see anything that says personal property of Inspector Falcon Price, I don't want to know about it.
Well, this one's pointed. It's flat. It's definitely more than one.
All right, let's check the kitchen.
Full plates, full glasses. Looks like Bert was having a dinner party last night.
Then he ended up dead.
Ah, a bit early for you. Who's dead?
Well, since you asked so nicely, Bert Cole.
Oh, I thought I was making a bad joke. I'm sorry.
Are you?
Well, yeah, he was a bit of a wowser, but he was harmless. What did he die of?
Well, we won't know until after the autopsy. Some stuff was taken. TV, VCR and some videos, so someone comes around the pub and they're trying to flog the stuff, you let me know.
Paul Hearns start flogging their hot gear in the coppers pub, I'll know they've really hit the bottom of the food chain.
Now, this tape was in his VCR in his bedroom.
What are you saying?
Well, I'm just saying that this could be his preferred bedtime viewing.
Oh, we're too young to be school kids. What is it, a daycare centre or something? You know where it is?
Well, it's not Mount Thomas.
I don't think it's St David's either.
What about the children? You know any of them?
No. Now, see how he keeps zooming in there, and that little boy.
Well, if
right?
Bert Cole was a pedophile, some parent might have topped him.
Do you think Bert had form for child abuse?
No. How long's he been in Mount Thomas?
15, 18 years.
What did you know about him before then?
Not a thing.
Hi. We've been to every second-hand shop in Mount Thomas. Many of them handling Bert Cole stuff. They're not telling us about it.
Same thing for the pubs. No, nothing. No form under that name.
Look, I wouldn't be in a rush to brand Bert as a child molester. I mean, look, I can't believe that he would live here all these years and be able to get away with something like that.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't be the first, would he?
I knew the man.
Well, did you know he dressed up as a woman?
Lots of men dress up in women's clothes.
Oh, hello, boss. You'd tell us all about it. You're amongst mates.
All I'm saying is I've known plenty of blokes who were perfectly normal in every other way.
normal.
What about that footy show on TV? You get those great hulking footballers dressing up in tutus and the like.
That's just for a joke.
No, that's what I'm saying. Look, when I was in Vietnam, we had this bloke in the platoon. He was very clever. He used to do this act at the camp concerts.
Very camp, was he?
To take our mind off things. I mean, he'd do Nancy Sinatra, Dusty Springfield, Little Paddy. He could take them all off. He even roped me in once to be one of the Supremes. What are you looking at? He played Diana Ross. And you told me that you used to get roped in to play all the girls' parts in the school plays.
I told you that in confidence, and I was drunk. And I only did it in Year 7. I jacked up about it in Year 8.
That's right.
Yes.
Gentlemen.
Brief me. What sort of a town are you running here, Sergeant?
Oh, before today, I would have said a very normal one, sir.
Excuse me, births, deaths and marriages have turned up a record of marriage between Albert James Cole and Helen Jane McDougall.
His wife.
Yeah, they were divorced 17 years back. She died last year.
So the next of kin?
BDM are checking for brothers, sisters, children, parents, but in Bert's case, given his age, I think it's a long shot, but I'll keep you posted.
We have no idea who these other 3 club members are.
Well, fingerprints from St David's lifted quite a few dabs off the plates and the glasses, but there's no results there yet.
No local knowledge of people with these proclivities.
Well, the only time I've ever seen anybody cross-dressing around here have been RSL smoke nights and footy club fundraisers.
You astound me.
All right, Bert Cole's parents are both deceased, so is his only brother, but he does have a son and a daughter.
Well, what we'll do is we'll get their names and addresses out of the electoral rolls, we'll contact the nearest station and have someone go tell them they're orphans.
Oh, what, just like that? Knock, knock, you Mr. Cole, because you're an orphan.
Yep, just like that.
G'day, Adam. Hey, this is mate, the inquest. How's it going?
Tony, off the record.
Yeah.
Not for publication. Not bad.
Timsy!
G'day, mate.
How you doing?
Tell you what, your boy's getting the hang of it.
Well, you know, Tony, off the record, not for publication, some things can do that to you, brother.
Yeah. G'day, Doc. Hey, you got a cause of death for me yet? What?
Timms, of course you're kidding me.
Tony.
Try.
Can I pull?
Can I have a pot of beer? No, actually, I'll have a jug and an orange juice.
It's my shout.
Listen, what's this I hear about Bert Cole being found in a dress?
Who told you that?
Oh, everyone knows.
Who's everyone?
Tony Timms.
Tony. What sort of journalist gives stuff like that away for free?
Tony Timms' sort, can't keep his mouth shut. Peach, if you're looking for a very warm VCR and TV, see the guy in the denim jacket.
Yeah, there's something going on over there. Nah, there is. Look at Zoe. He bolts every time he sees her. Oh, well, he's not bolting now.
Yeah, too right, mate, too right. You sticking around long?
Maybe.
Name's Pat.
Johnny, you Irish, Pat, are you?
No, not as such, mate. More you wog, you know what I mean? Listen, Johnny, if you're looking for any stuff, you know, like cigarettes, electrical goods, that sort of thing, you, please come to me.
You buy as well?
Oh, yeah, been known to, sure.
Pat, was it?
Ooh, nice stuff, Johnny, nice stuff. This video, is your licence number engraved on it?
Yeah, of course.
Good, right. Good. Well, word to the wise, Johnny. You're under arrest for handling stolen property. I must inform you you're not obliged to say or do anything, as anything you say or do may be given as evidence.
Yes.
You understand that?
Yes.
Good.
I found them outside this bloke's house. What's his name?
Cole, Albert Cole.
That's him, yeah.
And how do you explain the back door that was jibbied open and your fingerprints are all over it?
I don't know how it got there.
Mr. Baxter, we also found in your possession an address book that belonged to Mr. Cole.
Well, I found it with the video, didn't I?
I wouldn't treat this as a joke if I were you, Mr. Baxter. You're already facing very serious charges of burglary and handling of stolen goods.
And we could be looking at murder.
Now, hang on.
No, you hang on. Now, when we found Mr. Cole, right, he had a gash to his forehead. And we can place you at the house, sir. You were at the house. Now, I don't think we need to look any further, do you, Constable?
No, Detective, I think we've got our man sitting right here.
Look, it had nothing to do with me, all right? He was dead when I got in. He was already dead. The only light I could see on was in the kitchen. I went in the back window and up the hall, and the light was on in the lounge room, right? Only you couldn't see in because it had curtains, and he was dead on the floor. And I couldn't bloody believe it. I mean, there he was, all dolled up like a tart on Sailor's Pay night.
How did you know he was dead?
Lying there.
Did you ring an ambulance?
Oh, do me a favour, I was burging the...
Did you try to revive him?
He was cast.
Did you try mouth to mouth?
On that, old Gwen, you got to be kidding. A bloke could get AIDS.
All right, so you're just saying you took the TV, the VCR, the address book, and you took off.
I went out the back door with
Very
him.
good, very good. Now, what time was this?
Left the pub around 10, got me car. Probably 11:15 by the time I got in. 10 to 11 I would have been out.
What did you do with the video camera?
What video camera? I didn't see one.
What'd you do, John? You sell it?
I'm telling you, I didn't see one. Oh, you blokes probably took it for yourselves. Joking.
Mr. Baxter, you're a stranger in this town. And why did you all of a sudden want to pick Mr. Cole's house to burgle?
It just looked like a nice place. Well, that's all. Honest.
Well, there's stuff he's not telling us. I mean, where's the video camera, the missing tapes?
But why pick Bert Cole's place and why take the address book?
Maybe he had an accomplice, a local perhaps.
No, he says not.
Or maybe a local found out about Bert's little club and got Johnny up from Melbourne to go into jail.
Now you're talking blackmail, eh?
Which could involve other members of the club. Well, that'd be in the address book. How many names are in it?
Oh, about 100.
Needle in a haystack.
All right, well, let's just charge him with burglary. We're getting remanded in St David's overnight. Just wait for the autopsy results.
Well, most of them are heterosexual, the majority are married, and a lot of them are actually homophobic.
What are you talking about?
Men who dress up as women, they go shopping for clothes with their wives.
This revelation just suddenly struck you, did it?
No, I actually called a psychologist. I thought we needed some insight. It starts out when they're children. They like the feel of their mum's clothes.
Well, that's a lot of hogwash because I've got lots of fond memories of my mother's flannelette nighties, and look at me, I'm completely normal.
Oh, no, see, your expression, your sensual side.
Well, there you go. What can I do for you?
I'm Abbott Cole's daughter, Simone. Doncaster Police contacted me.
Take a seat. McKinley, seeing as we went to all that trouble to get that information, I'd like you in there just in case.
You're actually
Just in case, I said. Miss Cole, please allow me to offer my condolences. Your father would be very much missed in the district.
Really?
Well, a leading businessman. He was on the council, member of many of the service clubs.
Sergeant, my father was a pervert. It was why my mother left him. She told me it was why he moved here from the city 18 years ago. I'm sorry. This is none of your concern. I'm just here to make the arrangements. So if you could show me where he lived, where his shop was, advise me who his solicitor might have been.
Ms. Cole, you're probably unaware of the circumstances of your father's death. We've arrested an individual who's admitted to burgling your father's home at or about the time he died.
And murdering him?
Well, we don't know that yet. The other factor is the way your father was attired when he was found.
Oh, no. In a frock, right? All those years ago, Mum caught him raiding her wardrobe. Is that going to come out at the inquest?
Oh, it could.
Bloody hell. I mean, my brother and I haven't seen the man in years, and now this. What am I going to tell my son?
How old's he?
4, but that won't stop the kids at the day centre teasing him.
Look, I contacted a psychologist.
Not now, McKinley. There's a tape I'd like you to see.
He was spying on my son?
You didn't know your father was videotaping his grandson?
Do you think I let that pervert near my little boy?
It may have been innocent.
What would you know?
She could be right. Grandfathers have feelings too, you know.
There was nothing innocent about my father. My mother was a basket case for the rest of her life because of him. She was too afraid to make another relationship in case it happened again. I swear she died young because of it.
Maybe I should take Miss Cole to see the house. It might help you to understand.
I don't want to understand. The last thing I want to do is to pollute my mind by understanding him. But I would like to inspect the real estate, establish whether there was a will, see if provision was made for me and my brother.
Show Miss Cole the house, will you please, McKinley?
What's that little lowlife doing here?
Do you know Mr. Baxter?
Should do. He's my son's father.
I put it to you that you went there to blackmail Mr. Cole.
Simone's been talking to you.
Too right she has, mate. Too right she has. She told us all about your little plan, how you're going to move to Mount Thomas, demand money from Mr. Cole in exchange for not talking about his little secret.
All right. Well, bloody old queer deserved it. Ruining Simone's mum's life like that. He was making a mozza up here. He could afford to shell out a bit to his grandson, right?
His grandson?
He only wanted the money for Billy. It's true.
So what happened? Did he refuse to pay?
No, I told you last night he was dead when I walked in.
Listen, I know you told us that.
I didn't kill him. If anyone killed him, it was the other poof.
Who are you talking about, Mr. Baxter?
There was another man there when I walked in last night. I was all done up like a dog's dinner. I mean, he was standing there looking at the body on the floor, and when I come in, he ran out.
Well, Johnny, why didn't you tell us about this other man before?
I don't know.
Well, were you planning on blackmailing him too, were you?
No.
Is that why you stole the address book? You're going to demand money? Is that why?
Might have been.
Were you?
Yes. Well, don't you think they ought to pay? That type.
Hey, Johnny. We want a description of that second man, and you better make it very good. Might just save you from a murder charge.
No sign of a will.
Well, your father was a very organised man. He might have left it with his lawyer.
Did you like him?
No. We weren't friends. He was actually a bit of a fusspot. He used to complain about the neighbours and the local kids.
A bit of an old woman?
I hate that expression. The old women that I know, they're wonderful people. They're wise and they're brave. No, your father was a cranky old man, but he was not a bad one. Look, that psychologist I was talking about, I can give you her name and number. She might give you some information that could help. You know, they're actually very normal.
Oh, yeah? My brother could probably do us some help. He's lived with the fear that he could turn out the same.
We'll tell your brother that most of them are quite masculine. They work in very butch jobs. You know, maybe it's a change from what they have to do every day of their life. Steel and bricks from 9 to 5 and then silk and satin after hours.
What's in the other bedroom?
I meet people who spend this kind of money on guns and ammo. Given a choice, I'd prefer to meet your dad than them in a dark alley any day.
Guess so.
He wasn't hurting anyone.
The more I compare Baxter's description of the second man with the names in Bert Cole's address book, the more I keep coming back to this.
Dave Craig's your man, all right.
Dave Craig? I can't believe it.
Well, he's a real man's man, is he, Peter?
It all adds up. He flounced up to the counter yesterday and he casually inquired what we were doing at Bert Cole's house.
Righto, let's pick him up, Mags.
Just do it diplomatically, will you? He's got a wife, 2 small kiddies, and I doubt if the blokes he works with would understand.
Something Constable McKinley said to me about my father being organised. When Billy was born, he wrote to me. He'd seen the birth notice in The Age. He wrote to me and asked if Billy's father and I were getting married. And if we were, could he pay for the wedding? And either way, he'd like to see his grandson. And I wrote back to him telling him where to put his money and telling him he'd never see him.
It's mine.
It was such a simple thing to ask. And now it's in his house and all those stupid dresses.
Boss? Straight through there, thanks, Mr. Craig.
That's in.
Thank you.
All right, mate. Put your cup of tea on the table. You're off to the cells till the magistrate's ready for you.
And after all I've done for you.
Go on.
So I've been in Bert Cole's house. So what?
We see the burglar's main defence against the possible murder charge, or to say that he saw you in the room standing over Mr. Cole's dead body, right? Now, when this goes to inquest, things will have to be revealed, like what you were wearing at the time.
It's blackmail.
We have an unexplained death, sir. I would urge you to cooperate.
I wasn't there.
Mr. Cole's video camera and tapes are missing. Did you remove them from the house?
No.
We can get a warrant to search. Now, we prefer not to upset your wife.
They're not at my house.
Where are they then?
Where you'll never find them.
A warrant to dig up the highway?
Where you'll never find them is what he said.
Boss, he's a road engineer, he's laying bitumen. What better place?
If you dig up these roadworks and you're wrong...
When have I ever been wrong? Right. We have a warrant to search your house and a warrant to dig up any blacktop you may have laid since yesterday morning.
You what?
And that's where you've hidden the camera and the tapes, isn't it? Underneath the new roadwork.
You can't dig up a day and a half's work. We mightn't be too late.
Mount Thomas 509.
Mount Thomas 509 receiving.
Sergeant Croydon advises that the magistrate has agreed to the warrant on the house, but not, repeat, not on the roadwork.
Receive that.
Never trust a policeman.
You all seated? Oh,
Satisfied?
It's in your interests to make a full statement, Mr. Crane.
I have my wife and family to think about.
This was taken the night Bert died.
And those are the clothes that Mr. Cole was found wearing.
The other two gentlemen, sir, one's Bob Callahan. Buy my steaks from him.
He also does a very nice traditional sausage, yeah.
Oh, that's Trevor Gillespie in the oyster velvet. He fixed the fuse box at my house.
You did the PowerPoints here.
Nothing to say, Mr. Craig. Right, we'll have to talk to the other gentleman.
Good game Saturday, Spider.
So this is for the Junior Footy Club raffle, I take it?
Well, if you take it, we won't be able to raffle it, will we?
Oh, it's too early, Bob.
Tom, gonna buy a ticket in the meat tray, mate.
Actually, I need a bit of a chat. Your offsider told me I'd find you here.
Chat? What about?
About the circumstances surrounding Bert Cole's death the other night.
Hey, Trevor.
What is it now? I keep telling Tom the station needs rewiring. You can't just keep putting sticking plasters on it.
No, mate, no, not the station this time. It's about Bert Cole's death.
Is this going to get in the papers?
Dash, when they arrive, I want you to keep an eye on David Craig. I don't want him hurting himself.
He has gone quiet, almost like he's in shock.
Yeah, a lot of blokes would rather nick himself and face what he's facing. I don't want a death in custody to come.
If I was humiliated, I'd just leave
You're
town.
not a bloke, eh?
I'd like to take a seat over at this desk, please.
Thanks, Mr. Gillespie.
Wasn't there.
Where were you?
Home.
Constable, will you call Mrs. Gillespie to confirm that, please?
Yeah, all right. I was at Bert's place, but I wasn't involved in all that...
All that what?
All that dressing up stuff.
Mr. Gillespie, do we have to show the tape?
I'm not a poofter.
Sir, your sexual preference isn't at issue here.
Look, I got me wife and 2 girlfriends on the side. You can talk to them, and if you don't believe them, you can try me out yourself.
Well, we're not asking you to stand at stud, Mr. Gillespie. We're simply investigating Mr. Cole's death.
I don't know anything about it. He was still alive when I left at 10:30.
I got home at 11:15, so probably left 25 past 10:30, maybe.
And this left Bert Cole and David Craig by themselves there, did it?
Well, they're on the same subcommittee of Rotary, and they had a few things to talk through.
And Bert was still in his attire, was he?
Yes, they both were. Trevor and me had washed our faces and changed, but they'd got talking over a beer and hadn't had a chance to do that yet.
And you all kept your clothes there?
I know what you're thinking. Butchers who used to play footy shouldn't dress up.
Night before last, Bob, was there any aggro?
We watched some old tapes, had a few beers, told a few lies. Usual thing.
It occurred to us that there might be some element of blackmail involved.
Blackmail?
Yes, that maybe Bert was standing over one of the other of you.
He's one of the richest blokes in town. Anyway, he wouldn't do anything to change things. He wasn't like the rest of us. He didn't have a family. So these nights were very important to him.
Now, if that's the case, Bob, was one of you blackmailing Bert? And did Bert jack up?
No way.
No way in the world. You got to understand, this was Bert's life. He got all the clothes in for us, the makeup, everything. It was his club, and he needed us as members.
So, sir, what if someone wanted to leave? Could there have been a row?
We didn't want to leave.
Now, you left him alone with David Craig. Now, what if he wanted to leave and Bert had threatened to tell Mrs. Craig about her husband's hobby?
She already knows. It's not like me and Bob. Dave's missus knows all about him. She wouldn't like it getting out, and he's not allowed to do it in the house where the kids might see, but, like, she wears it. No pun intended.
Do you people have any idea at all what you're doing to my life?
Mr. Craig, we understand that your wife knew.
You can know something without wanting it on the TV news.
Sir, we appreciate the delicacy of the situation. And
no, you don't. Every day of my working life, I work with road construction gangs. Big, rough, boozy Aussie blokes. If this gets out, how do you think they're going to react?
Believe me, Mr. Craig, I understand your problems. But there's been a death. Your friend is dead. Now, don't you think his death deserves an inquiry?
He was alive when I left him.
Now, sir, Mr. Callahan and Mr. Gillespie say they left between 10:25 and 10:30. At that time, you were still wearing women's attire and makeup.
So?
So, Mr. Craig, the man that we arrested for burgling Mr. Cole's premises said he entered the house at 10:45 p.m. and saw you standing over Mr. Cole's body.
Question is, sir, did you kill him?
No.
Then for your own sake, tell us what happened.
Bob and Trevor left. Bert and I had a few things to talk about. We were just wrapping up when Bert suddenly grabbed at his chest and he just dropped. I saw a bull shot once and it was like that. He just went down, bang, like that.
Go on, sir.
I checked his vitals. Nothing. So I thought, get the ambulance. I was just reaching for the phone and I heard someone breaking in. I panicked. I was grabbing the video camera and the tapes and this guy just walked in.
So you weren't standing over the body then?
No way. You think I wanted to leave a video record behind? This guy saw me and Bert and stopped him in his tracks. I just went past and out the front door.
You didn't go there dressed up. Your street clothes were in the house. You must have gone back for them.
I hid in the garden. I had to wait while this little hoon burgled Bert's house. I couldn't stop him. Couldn't get help from a friend. So just had to hide there till it was all over and then creep back inside and wash, change and go home.
And then you never called the ambulance.
I figured it was all too late.
But if you had faced the burglar, Mr. Cole might still be alive.
Before you judge me, ask yourself if you would have. But you're right. Poor old Bert died of shame. My shame. I didn't kill him. Do you think I'd tell you these things if they weren't true?
Autopsy results just came through. Bert had a massive heart attack. They reckon he was probably dead before he hit the floor.
If society didn't regard it as freakish, then there wouldn't be a problem.
But it is freakish,
No,
that's the whole
I
point.
kept telling you that the psychologist said
He's
it's a
winding you
perfectly
up,
natural
mate. He's
thing.
winding you up.
He's
doing it again. I'm not winding anybody up. It's not a question of winding you up. But when I say it's freakish, it means it's very unusual. I mean, people are always telling me I'm freakishly tall, especially short people.
There's one word. There's one word.
And so when I say that cross-dressers are freakishly attired, all I mean is they are most unusually attired. They wear women's clothes, not like other men do, like me.
No, you're not just saying it's different, Nick. You're saying it's wrong.
Oh, read your dictionary, missy. Where's my frock?
Bye.
Hey, how are you, mate? How'd you go?
The coroner said, quote, Brad Dimmick contributed to his own death, unquote. Constable Cooper acted in self-defence. Unquote. I am home free. Thank you. Who's coming down the pub?
Do you think you might all wait at least till your shift's finished?
I'm not on duty, so I'm getting a head start.
See you, lad. Well done.
Coming, boss?
Yep. Probably not tonight. We'll have a word in the morning.
All right, watch out. Same again.
Bourbon and coke, thank you.
Bourbon and coke, make one a double.
Hey, Chrissy. I have a jug of beer, a couple of bourbon and cokes. And what is next on the shelf?
Adam, the last person who tried to drink his way along the spirit shelf is dead.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris. You stop me when I think I've had enough, okay?
I'll stop you way before.
Come on,
you,
Chris.
mate.
What is next on the shelf and what goes with it? Coke?
Well, yeah, Coke with the gin, Coke with
Yeah.
the vodka, Coke
So
with the
Coke.
scotch.
Coke. Excellent.
Nick, get out of that.
Oh, he'll be fine.
How are you, sir?
Very well, thank
Excellent.
you.
Can I buy you a drink?
No, I'm with a friend in the dining room. Scotch and water and a gin and
Well,
tonic.
that's all right. I
please.
can get it. That's
No,
fine,
it's
Chris. I'll
fine.
pay for that. Listen, please, let me buy you a
They're
drink.
getting on like a
because
house on
today's
fire.
event was excellent.
No, it's fine.
Thank you very much for your support in court. That was fantastic. Yeah, no. Can you...
I can't watch.
When Cooper comes in, I want to see him.
He may be a tad hungover.
Good. Ah, Cooper, in my office, please. I understand you enjoyed yourself last night.
Oh, yeah. I suppose I was a little bit over-friendly with the inspector.
He thought so.
Yeah, well, I've finished celebrating now. I just want to get back to work, boss.
Very laudable. It's not that simple. You still haven't been cleared on the other matter. The matter of putting Damien Allenby through a glass door hasn't gone away. Monica Draper will be in town soon to investigate Free SD. Until she does so, the inspector's issued certain orders.
What orders?
I must now inform you that as of this date, you are stood down. The result of this instruction is that you are confined to the station until the end of your shift and until further notice. You're not to have any access to patrol vehicles or police-issue firearms other than to conduct vehicle and equipment checks. Your main functions will be to monitor radio broadcasts and answer customer telephone and counter inquiries. Any action outside these boundaries will be seen as disobeying an official police instruction and you will be charged under the Police Regulations Act 1969, so if you understand.
Yeah, I understand.